Hello and welcome back to the ArtVid19 channel, where I show you simple and easy ways to make art so you'll be less bored and gain some skills and something out of it that you can be proud of. And obviously the name of the channel is based on COVID-19, so ArtVid19, and we're slowly creeping out of it if doesn't decide to take a nasty turn again. And obviously I set up this channel as like a lockdown resolution when it first happened, to try and like do something with my life, and obviously we haven't had many lockdowns for a bit, so obviously there hasn't been many videos, but I got this for Christmas. You might have seen it advertised, and I just want to make a video on it because I feel like I've already got a few tips from my past experiences of the few tattoos that I've done so far and over the Christmas holidays. You may have seen it advertised. It's been all over Snapchat. I don't know if it's just my Snapchat or, you know, if it's like everyone's, but this is a freehand tattoo marker from Inkbox. I've known of Inkbox for a while, but they mostly do semi-permanent tattoos, and I've also got one of them on my leg, so I'll show you the difference between this freehand marker and the actual tattoo later. Obviously it's a bit different from my normal videos, but I just, you know, it's kind of arty, it's a pen, you know, it's something that I would enjoy because, you know, it's just drawing. You don't have to think of a template or whatever, you can just do it freehand, do whatever you want. So it's quite creative. I think a lot of people did start buying it in lockdown actually, because it's sort of a fun thing to do at home, doesn't matter if you go wrong because no one's going to see it. Yeah, it's just a rule of thumb, but yeah, I think people started to do a lot of things like dye their hair and stuff, but yeah, this is sort of one of those things. Comes in really nice packaging actually, very sleek. Age 10 plus apparently, so if you're under 10 don't do it. It's got cool like shiny stuff on it, shiny like embossed patterns. Oh, it's got little tattoo ideas and like flowers and stuff. But yeah, comes with literally very simple £15, absolute bargain in my head. The glove, do not forget to use this. You'll hear later, but yeah. Don't forget to use the glove. Tattoo glove, obviously you get the instructions, which is pretty simple. You literally just apply it to skin. It's pretty much like henna, and I've done henna before, so that's basically why I thought it would be great for me, because I have tried applying stick and poke. I've done it to other people, I haven't done it to myself because I'm a bit of a wimp, but this is a kind of better option if you're a bit squeamish or whatever. You can literally apply it to skin, you wait 10 minutes, and then you put these patches on, which are over here. They give you them, put this patch on, and it develops, and yeah, you may have seen actually, when I was looking up stuff about this before, obviously I was looking at other tutorials on YouTube, so thanks for everyone to inspiring me for that, but it's literally, this is like the modern version of it. This is the newest version I've seen. I don't know if it's just UK or whatever, but this is the one I was given, and usually, I mean, I've seen in older videos from maybe like a year ago or so, they have a completely different look. You know, it's got like this needle part, and it's like sort of, you put it on and then it peels off in a sort of weird way, kind of henna-ish, like it kind of sticks to the skin and you peel it off. This is nothing like that, it's way simpler. I think they must have just updated the design, I'm not 100% sure. This isn't the right video for actual information. Check out their website to get proper information. This is just a video just for fun, and what I've learned so far as like an amateur person. As I said, like I have tried henna before and I have tried stick and poke, not on myself, so it's kind of just another area for me to try out. But yeah, so this is what it looks like. It's actually quite thick, to be honest. I think the older version was a bit thinner, so it's probably more accurate. It's probably not going to load, but probably not going to focus, but let me get that stuff out of the way. I'll show you what the different types of, like, obviously try and practice beforehand on paper. Make sure it's not too thin, because it is, again, forgot to use the glove. It is, again, you know, pretty strong ink, you know, it's got to be for tattoos. They do last probably, it depends on where you put the tattoo, but it's going to be at least 1 to 2 weeks. So yeah, make sure you put this on. It can either be like thin, obviously. When I first did it, I was kind of like, I just did like a quick one, like a few dots on the inside of my upper thigh, which means like Obviously, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong, nothing's really gonna happen. But I did really do that. I tried everything. I did follow the instructions, like I looked it up, I followed the instructions note by note, and I just did a few dots. So you can do like thin, or you can do thick, like proper thick like this. I think it is meant for like bigger tattoos really, because it's not as thin as the other versions. Like it really is, it's quite heavy line density. You can get like a sort of twirling motion. Probably better for like sort of simpler ideas, kind of like simpler motifs like this. Kind of just like bigger and like simpler, because you know you can't really get the detail in my experience. Like, you know, you get what you pay for. It's £15. I mean, what are you going to expect here? Yeah, you know, it's not going to be like anything amazing, but you know, it's fun, and that's what we like on this channel. And cheap, as I always say, that's what we like on this channel. Something to do for all of you to try. So I had a few points, tips and tricks. Obviously, let me show you this. It's kind of just like an average sort of Sharpie or marker size. You're really not going to get anything tiny. The first step that it always says in the instructions is exfoliation, because on the normal Inkbox like semi-permanent tattoos that you put on, that you just put on the stencil, it's literally comes with a proper primer wipe, and you do like prime your skin beforehand, and like to get it all wet and like nice and not all dry and gross. However, I have experimented, and it really, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter what you do to the skin beforehand. It will just go on. It's quite thick, it's strong, you know, it's proper ink. It's not going to be like watery, whatever. Just don't worry about that too much. I've been a bit impulsive and just sort of done it, but I'll go on to that later. You've probably seen this before, but they do say on videos about this on the Inkbox channel, I think they do say to try using tracing paper, which is what I did for my big tattoo I've got on my leg, which I'll probably show later. Not big, but it's sort of like on my ankle, leg area that I made last night or yesterday. It's literally 2 mushrooms and whatever, but yeah. I tried using this stencil idea that they give you, where you literally, I'll show you how to do it now, it's pretty simple. You literally just get a pencil, if I can find one. You can probably just draw a pen on your arm as well, but this is probably for more like a proper effect. You literally just draw something, whatever your design is. Obviously think about if it's going to be back to front or not. I had to draw my mushrooms back to front because you flip over. But you just draw a design, make sure to get it really hard. Use like a soft pencil so it's more dark, I assume. And then, so you've got that, your design, decided on it. The good thing about this is you can literally try anything. It's even good for like trying out ideas of tattoos that you think you might want to get in the future, like proper tattoos, because obviously it comes off. And you can put your own signature style on it. Got some water here. You literally just put some water on the area, and then you whack it down to get what you want. Hopefully this will actually work. You just go on top of it like that. You press down. Well, I don't know why I decided to do this with my veiny hand, but all the tendons. There you go. There you go. You can't really see it on camera, but the design has now been imprinted into my hand. And then you can use that as a basis for your design. You know, that's just one idea. I did try and do this yesterday with my mushrooms, however, I didn't really imprint that much. See, it's quite weak. And my old tracing paper, but I ended up mostly doing it freehand, which was quite nerve-wracking to be honest. I'll see what it is. But yeah, another tip with that is obviously when you're getting ready to draw, make sure it's clean area, because it can literally get everywhere. You might not think it's just a normal pen, but as you can see, I'm pretty much covered in ink from head to toe at this point. The whole left side of my body is just dead because I literally had to put my foot up onto this chair to draw my ankle tattoo, and it was there for quite a long time and it was quite painful. It wasn't really painful in the moment, but yeah, I felt it this morning, really did. Try to just be as comfortable as possible, because especially if you've got something to do. Like for the first tattoo, it literally says you just put it on, you wait 10 minutes, and then you put the developmental patch on, which lasts an hour. So you literally have to stay in the same position for an hour, or at least I thought you did. It does say that on the more complicated instructions you can read online. Like in the simple instructions, it doesn't really say not to move, but it's sort of, it's sort of inferred. Just don't sweat too much and don't do like heavy exercise or anything. Just make sure you're sort of comfortable. I think that's the main thing. If you're stressing about the tattoo and like feeling it, ooh, it's just gonna go wrong. It's basically pretty much on there, so don't worry about too much about sitting in the same position, because that did make my leg go dead as well the other day. Just, yeah, don't worry about that too much. Yeah, always use the glove was obviously my other point. I literally, it's mostly gone now, but the first time I tried, or the second time I tried this, I literally got ink all over my hands because I forgot to put the glove on. I just realised how waffly this entire video is, but I apologise. But it's really not structured. I do have points, but let's just pretend it is very structured. But yeah, I literally got it all over my hands because I, for some reason, forgot to put the glove on. And then, yeah, when you're actually drawing stuff, don't worry about if it bleeds, because it does just kind of do that. You just kind of have to work with it. Try and be as thin as possible. Don't put too much pressure on. Like obviously, if you put like that on, it will sort of bleed out because there's too much ink. So try and just be delicate with it. It's my advice. That's probably the best way to go. Obviously, depending on what kind of tattoo you're doing. Endless possibilities. And yeah, what happened with this was the aftercare. So the aftercare is the main tips I've got like for today. Oh, also, forgot to mention this. If you're drawing and you accidentally make a mistake, quickly get some soap and water and it will probably wash it off. Because what happened with me was I accidentally made a tattoo too big for one, like for 3 development patches. Because you can just shove as many patches on as you want, because obviously to cover the area of the tattoo. There was a few dots that I had on my mushrooms that are like outside of the line, so I kind of just went, I don't want to leave them out in the open, so I just kind of like got some water and soap and just rubbed it off, which is quite good, to be honest, to erase stuff if you want to just quickly get it off and then redraw. Obviously don't do it too much because you just want to be confident in bold strokes, but yeah. Yeah, the aftercare is the main thing. So you put the patches on, an hour's gone by, you take them off, wow, look at this tattoo, it's so good. It might have a little bit of a thicker texture to the rest of the skin, depending, but the issue I had with this disaster of a tattoo, I somehow, for some reason, decided to colour it in, and then I sort of panicked and then did dots, which I think looks alright, to be honest. Is the inner part of my elbow. I tried so hard to sleep in a jumper that night. It was literally a few hours before bed, which is a bit of a 2 hours before bed maybe, so it was a bit of a last minute thing, and that's really not the right thing to do. I'd recommend showering in the morning and then just doing it as soon as possible, so you have the rest of the day for it to heal, because when you're at night you can't really control your behaviours. And then I'm putting a jumper on and I'm too hot, so I take off the jumper and I'm trying to keep my arm straight, but it's accidentally bending in the night, and then I just wake up with these big smudges all over my other arm. And I also had one on this arm and like my hands, because in the night you're touching it, you don't realise, and the sweat just makes it worse. So my tip is, maybe if you're doing it on your arm, just tuck the arm into like a glove when you sleep so that it doesn't rub on any other body parts. I did some extra precautions last night because of my lesson with my mushroom thing. I just had my leg, right, I had my pyjama bottoms, had my socks, and I had my thick socks tucked into my pyjama bottoms. So I was like, that's not enough, because in case I kick them off during the night, and then wrapped my entire leg in a blanket for extra protection. Lo and behold, I woke up middle of the night and it was still off, still free. But luckily I waited long enough during the day, I think I'd done it about 6 PM, that it was sort of mostly sort of dried and not from that smudginess. It does go kind of blue. I'll show you later, as I said, in comparison with my other Inkbox stencil tattoo, so it's kind of like a similar colour, but the one on my leg right now, it's pretty much black, because it's kind of like you're just drawing a sharp in your leg kind of. But it will have that tattooy colour in a few days as it grows sort of into your skin. Yeah, somehow last night I garnered this. I don't even know how. I must have, I think it was when I was on the sofa, I was just sitting there and accidentally like put my arm on my leg without realising, and I've just got this imprint of the tattoo. But I tried so hard, I got it all over when that first time I got it over my fingers, tried so hard to get it off, tried so hard to get this off, literally tried everything. They said on the Inkbox website use salt water, that didn't work, literally nothing worked. Any kind of like chemicals, alcohols, scrubbing, it just did nothing. So I think the best thing is just wait at this point and have as many showers as possible. So yeah, it does obviously come off with the natural exfoliation of the skin. So it'll be a good few days before that comes off, but obviously, yeah, it's alright for me, so I haven't really got anywhere to go for the next few days, and I'm an art student anyway, so it kind of just is, I'm just used to having stuff on my hands. But if you're going to a business meeting, maybe don't do it if you're a beginner. That's just what I've learned, because it does just get everywhere, honestly. Yeah, if you've got valuable stuff, a white velvet sofa in your house, maybe just don't do it there. Well, it's pretty obvious advice, but yeah, as you can see, this table is absolutely wrecked, but that's just like it anyway. Yeah, basically just stay far away from the tattoo as possible. The sweat will stick to it, and yeah, like I said, I've literally tried everything to get it off, but it just isn't. But in a few days it will eventually come off. But yeah, I think that's all my tips, to be honest. So I'll just run through them again. Obviously, don't worry about exfoliation. Try the tracing paper technique. Might not always work, but it's a good starting point. Obviously try a small tattoo first, that's just pretty common knowledge, but just try something small, somewhere where people can't see it. That's also for skin stuff as well, because a lot of people do have sensitive skin and it might affect that, so just try to do like a little patch test first. Start with thin lines, you know, thick lines will just bleed out a little bit, so experiment with that. Just leave it on for an hour, probably 1+ patch, just shove all the patches on that you want. You can reuse them, like it says, you can reuse them by just putting some rubbing alcohol on the patch after you've done and then slapping it back on, and it will be, you can reuse it up to 8 times apparently, so that's quite good. I'm not sure, I assumed you could buy like independent like patches just on their own, but I'm not sure about that, so you might have to buy another one of these. But to be honest, it's a bit of a bargain, so what can we say, you know, we love Inkbox. It doesn't really matter about the time that you put it on, like it literally, it will probably be fine after like half an hour, honestly. Like it's just, it goes straight on pretty much, so don't overthink that. Don't go about your day like, whoa, I have to wait exactly an hour, like it'll probably just be fine. If you do make a mistake, just use that soap and water, rub it off, and it'll be fine. Yeah, stay away from as far from the air as possible. Use the sock and trouser techniques if you're in bed. But like I said, it's best to just do it in the morning after you've had a shower, so you've got the whole day for it to like sink in, and it won't be all sweaty and stick everywhere. The ink will get everywhere. But yeah, maybe try, if it's on your arm, maybe try like a glove tucked into the sleeve or something. Like it's best to just be in a cold area where it won't be sweaty and it won't, you know, you won't want to kick all the socks and stuff off that you've got. You won't want to kick everywhere, and it won't be ink transferring. You just want it in a safe, maybe put cling film on it. Just something to keep it trapped in. Yeah, and then it will look really great after, to be honest. I'm really happy with how they've come out so far. I'm just going to keep experimenting, keep going with it. Please let me know if this video helped. These are just my tips as a beginner. Things that I may not have known that I can now learn from, and hopefully you will too. Yeah, hopefully I can make some more videos in the upcoming year, 2022. Woo, Happy New Year, everyone seeing this. Hopefully it hasn't been as bad as the past 2 years, but we'll see. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!